Hello, and welcome back to special edition of The Neighbor's Kids. The Neighbor's Kid. Singular. So today, you guessed it, I'm going to be doing a solo episode! Woo! So, I had this, well, it's not really an idea, but I thought I wanted to do a solo episode because last night I was sitting by myself at my desk and I was just bursting with energy and I just really wanted to talk. And then it passed after like 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do a solo podcast episode because I have the equipment at my house. And then I moved the equipment out here to a new streaming area because we were located in my brother's walk-in closet. And because the clothes in there are a good sound absorber, so it was pretty quiet. And it was just a little bit cramped and comfy in there, warm. So I moved out to a new room. Surprise. And I just thought that I'd podcast alone and maybe just get into stuff I kind of personally just wanted to talk about. Not that Amelie is a bad conversator, if you will. So I wrote down on my phone notes of things I wanted to talk about yesterday at 10:30 p.m. when I wanted to make a podcast episode, but I fell asleep. So we're just going to start. I had written record with OBS and just mess around my laptop, maybe draw something. I might draw something. I didn't install OBS, and I probably need to do that. But the Wi-Fi out here ain't it. So maybe I'll time-lapse it. Who knows? But, okay, so the reason why I first wanted to do the episode yesterday was because I had a little bit of an adventure. And it made me just very excitable. So, what happened, Sophia, our dear manager, she works at one of the local pizza places. And since she's our beloved, she says, Jonica, if you come to my place of work, I'll give you free pizza. And I'm like, oh, it's on. I'm going. So I look to my mom, I go, Mom. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm going to go get my free pizza. She's like, I made dinner. I'm like, and so I walked out the door. And so where I live, service, it just ain't it, chief. So I get the Google Maps and the one road is big and I can't go on it in the car I'm in, or it won't be great. So I have to take like a detour route, if you know what I mean. I can't take a large highway or expressway. So it was estimated to be a 22-minute drive to the pizza place. And it ends up being 50 because I take turns and then like the Google Maps wouldn't load, so I have to like raw dog it with my brain and see where the road takes me. It was an interesting experience. It was good, I guess. I got there right at rush hour, by the way, 6:30, and I'm standing in the line, and I was there. I was like, I'm here. I'm gonna see Sophia. So I took notes, my waiting in line notes. I put, Sophia's customers are weird. This entails basically the thinking process I have, and I just wrote it all down in like a minute. Watched a girl in line in front of me eat a napkin. Okay, this is like an 11-year-old girl or something, and she was sitting at this table because the line was long, and she just ate a napkin, and I was like, what the hell? And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put my AirPod, pretend I'm not watching this happen, and that I think that worked pretty well for me. I then watched 4 people sit down. It was these 2 older dudes and like I'm assuming each one of their daughters or sisters or something. And then they sat down with their boxes of pizza, because what they do is they give you an individual box of pizza. Then they opened it and they put their hands together and they went, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. And they did like a Catholic prayer before they ate, and it's just like in the middle of this pizza place, and all of us are in line. It was such a weird thing. Then they made eye contact with me, and I was like, okay, I'm not to be exposing Catholics out in public, thanks. And then I also wrote, Me and Hospital Man are only people with masks. I'm vaccinated, but I wear a paper mask anyways because, I don't know, I just get nervous when I don't have one, you know? I don't, it's probably something. And then there's this other guy, and he had, like, a mask on with the local hospital logo on it. I'm like, okay, we're doing pretty good here. Oh, and then it gets bad. I have no service in there. And I have come to the conclusion that West Virginia is more technologically advanced than Southern Midwest, where I'm at. And I was really pissed about this because I was like, I had saved up this video and everything. I was gonna watch it in line. I was gonna watch it and I was gonna eat, and I was ready for it. And then, like, there's just no service, and I'm like, you're kidding me. You're kidding me, right? And so what I ended up doing, I have 4 songs downloaded onto my phone that I bought. Each were 99 cents. And so whenever I don't have service, which is actually quite often, I just listen to those 4 songs on repeat because I don't have Spotify Premium, even though I should. I don't have it because it's been long, man. I've had Spotify for over 2 years. I've dealt with the ads. I've cleared it out and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I'm too deep in now to bow to the corporate people. I'm not giving my money whenever I have suffered for so long. I feel like it's just a thing of pride for me. I just can't give in and pay money for something I've been doing for so long. And I'm like, you know what? I made it this far. Why not stop? So whenever I'm driving and I have the windows down and then you just have a bomb-ass song coming on, and then you just hear a McDonald's ad playing after, I'm like, oh, Christ. This really kills the mood I'm supposed to have. Be hype. It's, kind of sad, I guess. And then I also wrote this in the line. In 10 minutes is the big Quackity stream. Zooey mama, I'm gonna miss it. Silly face, silly face, silly face, silly face, silly face. And then also somebody posted a video on Twitter, and I don't know what it is, because I was gonna leave it for an eating pizza surprise. So the Quackity stream ended up him being go-karting around a storage facility. It's actually kind of funny. I ended up watching the VOD. I didn't get to it. And then I also wrote, what type of za should I get? Za spelled apostrophe Z-A. Okay, so what I ended up getting, I got, the normal crust, and then I got Italian red. And then I got spinach, tomato, pineapple, and pepperoni. The thing, pineapple deserves to be on pizza because I don't just like the pineapple for being the fruitiness. I like the sweet kick it gives to your bite. It gives such range to the flavor. And then I had to add spinach to make it look good because I need some green on my pizza, right? And then spinach doesn't really do anything. It's like a leaf, so it's kind of like cheating, I guess. Like salad on pizza, haha. And then pepperoni, because that's just the standard meat. The Italian sausage chunks, that's my second choice. I like them better crumbled because the larger Italian sausage chunks, it just feels wrong eating them. Like, it feels like you're eating a meat gumball, and it's not on. And then that's pretty much my toppings. Oh, I got the tomatoes because I was in the mood for margarita, and I felt like adding the tomatoes just encapsulated what margarita pizza is, and I wanted to feel that, so I put that on there. So that's my pizza choice for that day. I usually get something different every time. And then I also wrote, pizza reminds me of content creators Nakey Jakey and Pizza Hut. Nakey Jakey as in this gaming commentator where he sings this little Pizza Hut bit, and I think it's called Pizza Hut's PS1 discs, where they'd include like free trial demo game discs and like Pizza Hut meals. But that was before my time, but I still really enjoy watching the video despite not having that experience. And he sings a little Pizza Hut bit that goes, Pizza Hut, Pizza Hut. I don't know, I'll link it, but it's very good. And then Pizza Hut, he is also a extremely talented Minecraft creator who participated in MCC. It just reminded me of him because I watched a lot of Technoblade content, and he'd be like, Pete. I don't know. And then I also wrote, the people in line behind me left. Yeah, they got a line. That's why the line was so long. People behind me left, dude. And then I also wrote, I look especially good in my golf polo, black Vans, mask, and gray board shorts. I had a poppin' fit. Looked great. My polo, it was beige or khaki, and it had like these diamonds that were white and black on it. Looked like a golf shirt. I looked like an old man, very comfortable. Loved the collar. And yeah, eventually, okay, I talked about the music, and I put, this is the only music I have downloaded, so L. Then my last note was, is it socially acceptable to get spinach and pineapple on a pizza and pepperoni as the meat? So I ended up sending that bit to a couple of people I know, my friends, if you will, and they said no. But I think it's completely valid for the reasons given before. But anyways, get back to the pizza. I'm back in line. I'm about to order. And this girl looks at me and she's like, I love your outfit. And I'm like, thanks. And then I ordered, and then I got in line, and Sophia's working the register. She's looking good. She's like, you want your free pizza? I'm like, yeah. But the girl who had taken my order and complimented me walked up next to Sophia, and she goes, I'm going to give her my free pizza. And I look at Sophia, and I'm like, you were going to give me your free pizza. But I didn't say that. I ended up just staring there because I was in shock. And I was like, thank you. And so I got offered 2 free pizzas, and then I went on to all social media platforms I had, and I typed, all women do is love me. I was riding off of that compliment that 2 people want to give me pizzas because she loved my outfit. It was great. And then I got my pizza, and I paid my $2.87. I tipped 50, by the way. Nah, I'm just kidding. I put like $1.50 in the tip jar, like my change, and then $1, because I'm kind. I'm humble, if you will. And then I went and ate pizza outside in the 93-degree weather. It was really hot, and I had some Mountain Dew and this cookie. It was warm. It was really good. And then I ate like 3/4 of it, and then I put it in my car, and then I drove home, which is another experience where I got lost again because I tried to take this one road I thought was familiar, but I ended up going into a cul-de-sac, and I was like, okay, apparently not. So I had to like backtrack like twice. Eventually got home. It was all good. It was only almost dark. It was only 8 when I got home. And so that was my pizza experience. It was pretty enlightening, and I felt good, and that's why I had so much energy to want to podcast, and that's why I'm telling that story right now. See, look how long that took. It didn't take that long. Or, wait, no, it was supposed to take long. I was supposed to have a long enough story. It's at least 10 minutes story, guys. I'm gonna take a sip of my Arizona fresh brewed tea. Finger licking delicious, if I will. And we haven't. Okay, I bet our dozens of fans. That's right, dozens. 2 dozen. 24. 24 subscribers on YouTube. Thanks. No, that didn't mean to sound sarcastic. I was like, okay, thank you. 24 subscribers. So technically we do have dozens, because a dozen is 12. We have 2 dozens. So why we haven't been uploading is me and Amelie have been really busy, and I think we're probably gonna get back to uploading, and because it takes a little bit to do these episodes, and we had testing like AP tests and such and finals for that's like a 3-week period at the end of May, so we didn't feel comfortable with doing a podcast episode in the middle of that. And then afterwards, me and Amelie had a bunch of family stuff going on, so we couldn't get together. And then the week after she got back from that, I went to West Virginia with my family. So we just haven't really had time to record. And now that we're having to take up our schedules because we've been getting jobs and stuff. And I'm working at a nature center in my area. I think it's really cool, but we're gonna get together. What is it? Today's Sunday? Yes. At the time of this recording, this is Sunday. We're gonna get together and record Tuesday. But the thing about our podcast episodes is that we have done... So how we do them is we record all in one sitting, and then immediately afterwards we'll get a snack or a drink or something, and then we'll edit it, all of it, together. And then that also means I show Emily how to work the stuff on my computer, how to do GarageBand, and she's really good at the editing, because some of the files you hear, we have to edit out. Like, there will be a weird noise, or it'll just be a blink of silence. We edit the silences out. Or sometimes we'll overlap each other, can't understand what we're saying, and we just don't like the way it sounds. So Amelie is really good at finding a way to merge them together. So that's why I have her help me with the editing. And then I do the art, too, which is, I love doing that. I just love art in general. That's kind of how we make the podcast episodes. And me, Amelie, and Sophia, we usually, before the podcasting episodes, whenever we go to one of the other person's houses, we bring the equipment, and we'll drop it off, and then we'll go get brunch together, and we'll all dress nice, and it'll be a little event, and it's really cute and fun. And let's see. Recently we got together, but we didn't do a podcast episode because I had things to do, so I got there like 6 p.m. It couldn't be a morning thing, all right? So we got there, and they had us go to the grocery store, and we tried to make homemade pasta. And let me tell you, it was also good, but also, I want to say good, because it took us 3 hours to make. I'm saying good, because it took so much of my life. From me. So much time of my life from me. But it was, honestly, I'm gonna lie, we could have done a lot better. So what we tried to do, we tried to make homemade ravioli for the first time. Like, looking back on it, probably should have just been like fettuccine alfredo or spaghetti noodles the first time. But Amelie's like, I'm like, can we just buy like frozen ravioli squares? And she's like, no, we're doing this homemade. I'm like, okay, I'll try. Sophia's like, I'm Italian. We got this. And so I get there, and then they take us to the store, and I just cause chaos. Because Amelie took us alone, and she made me sit in the back, so I had to retaliate. Sophia does not get the front. Unbelievable. And so I was like, can I make guacamole? So I got these avocados, and I made guacamole while we're about to make pasta. And the cheese we had gotten for the ravioli, by the way. We should have gotten ricotta. I think that slipped my mind. I know we should have got it, because I saw this little, like, box, and it said 4 cheese. I'm like, 4 cheese ravioli, that's a cheese. So we got the 4 cheese ravioli, or the 4 cheese for the ravioli, but it didn't have the ricotta in it. But should have had the ricotta in it. And so we each had our own jobs. Sophia did a caprese salad, very good, and she toasted the bread, and then she's basically like our sous chef to us, because I was making the sauce, and then Amelie was making the pasta dough. And when I made the sauce, first thing that went wrong, I put the olive oil on it, and I don't know how to work Amelie's stove. I was like, which way's the high? Because you turn it, and then, like, this sounds dumb, but the lines that say high and low, they turn with it. And so I'd get really confused, and I was like, which way's high, which way's low? And so I have to scoot down and watch the flame, because Amelie was busy not paying attention to me like she should have been. And so, like, I burnt the oil, because the recipe we did, you did onions, you caramelized some onions, or not caramelized, you just do the onions, and then you'd add garlic, and then tomato paste and crushed tomatoes. And then you add some little seasoning and some basil, you know. So I did that. It was going pretty well, and I get to the end where I need to just season it. I had the tomato base. And it was like red pepper and basil. I was like, okay, I put the basil in, and then the red pepper, I'm like, you know what? Oh, also, Amelie keeps red pepper in her refrigerator and her bread in her freezer. I thought that was really weird. I was like, no, I don't. I was like, okay, whatever. It's whatever. I'm gonna be real though. After I was done with the red pepper, I put it back in their spices cabinet, not in the fridge. But apparently, I added too much red pepper. Okay, I'll be real. It had a little heat. Me and Sophia handled it fine. We thought it was good, but Amelie was being a piss baby, and she's like, "It's too hot, Jonica. You added too much hot red pepper." I was like, "Cry about it, Amelie." I pride myself in being able to handle spice. handle spice quotation marks. But and then I made the ravioli things where she made the pasta and she'd do like their thickness, and then I'd put the cheese in it, and then I'd crimp them, and then she would go boil them, and she would just be in between us. And the thing with the cheese was we need ricotta, right? But we didn't have it because it gives it a little bit of volume, right? And I'd put the cheese in it, and then I'd pinch it and stuff. I thought I added enough, and then I gave it to him, and it came out, and the cheese had like melted down, and it was like just noodle, and you couldn't taste the cheese, and it was so sad. So we basically just had noodle. So I guess it kind of just tasted like spaghetti, not sliced, which I think is positive, because I was like, this is still good. And then we had Sophia's bread and caprese salad. It was really good. And then we went downstairs, and then we all sat on the couch. We watched Oh Hello. It's a John Mulaney and Nick Kroll special. Phenomenal. I loved it. So funny. It reminds me of my brain and the thoughts it has. Not like in some of the content, but of how it works. Like it just jumps, changes subject. It was great. I loved it. It was so good. And then I wanted them to watch Bo Burnham's new special, Inside, but they didn't want to do it. I was like, okay, have fun being lame. So what we do, we pulled up YouTube on the TV, and we each would choose one video to watch. It was like 20 minutes, and they're usually like gaming videos or something, and then we'd watch that and move on. We watched this Donnie Gonzalez video. It was really good. It was about he's POV, you're a vampire daddy. And that video got us. It was so good. It was so funny. I loved it so much. Oh jeez. And then we made like references to that the whole evening. It's hilarious. And then they watched some of Markiplier's videos. Amelie likes Markiplier a lot. And then I chose this one Anthpo video where it was like terrorizing kids at my school as Perry the Platypus, where it's just like a 5-minute video of him just harassing different people while he has a Perry the Platypus onesie on. That was really funny because it's just so random, but they liked it. And then I think I also chose a Wilbur Soot video. I like his You Laugh, You Lose, is because because the editor does a really good job, so it makes it funny, so you're like watching it along too, and you're laughing, and God, we were dying at this one. It was like, You Laugh, You Lose at 4 a.m. when only the Europeans are up, so it was like, it was an American dumb comedy with trash media shares. It was great, I loved it. We loved it. We were dying, and then we watched like some more, and then it's boom. It's 3 a.m. and Amelie's asleep, and I was like, pussy. And we went upstairs, and Amelie took a shower, and she came back. Me and Sophia were both out. I was on the couch. Sophia was on the floor next to an outlet. And yeah, pretty much what happened. I woke up the next morning and left. But anyways, that was our biggest brother meetup, if you will. The neighbor's kids meetup. Sorry. Okay, and now we're gonna talk about how my West Virginia trip went. I went to West Virginia for the first time. Hey! It was pretty cool. The place we stayed was at the top of a mountain. It had service, which was cool. It was really pretty. I loved the trees, and I took this really good photo. I also went whitewater rafting for the first time. Also, if you haven't whitewater rafted and you have the chance to, it's so cool. I love it so much. Our guide was good. He'd tell us history of the things while we're going down the river in the slow spots where you're not in the rapids yet. Because that's basically, 70% of whitewater rafting? Before the rapids, you're just sitting there waiting for the next one. So he did really good at those intermediate bits, and he'd be like, this is where Ghost Town was. He's like, how old do you think this bridge is? He's like, here's a train tracks. This one's flooded. And we also had these two guys in our boats. They're so funny. It was great. Loved it. And I never fell off the boat. We did some class 5s, class 4s, you know? So I'd say we're pretty skilled. But anyways, no, I'm just kidding. It's my first time. But in our boat, the set out, it's supposed to hold 10 people, right? In our boat, we had 6, I think. So it went my dad, my brother, and then this other guy. His name is Roger. Or, no, his name's Mike. And he sat in front of my brother. And they're on the left side of the boat. Mind you, there's supposed to be 5 on each side. And then on the other side, on the right side, it was Roger, then me. So the thing with Roger is that he'd keep falling over. So, like, I was basically manning one side of the boat, and then our guide, he sat in the middle because he had to steer, right? Because we're noobs at whitewater rafting. And it's a good experience. I loved it. We swam, we threaded the needle, and then each of the rapids had names, and I was really fascinated about that. I'm like, what are their names? I'm like, Marcus, come on. That's our guide. Come on, tell me the names, bud. And one of them was called Scramble Like a Rat. I thought that was funny. It was great. I loved oh, jeez. And it's a lot more different than you think, because you think you'd sit inside of the boat, but you actually don't. You sit on the side of it, and you have, like, your legs inside. So you feel like you're going to fall out. So they're like, you're supposed to use your paddle to balance you so you don't fall out. But it was cool. I loved the experience. And, yeah, it was West Virginia's whitewater rafting. And then the rest of West Virginia, basically, I laid in the back of the van, and that's where I slept. And I don't know. It was just, yeah, we camped. We camped for 5 days. So I didn't take a full body shower in those 5 days. I'll confess it here. I didn't smell horrible. Like, I did baby wipes, and I did, like, a little handheld thing for my hair and stuff. And then we'd swim and go in the water and stuff. But I don't think okay, I did smell. I'll say it. But I wasn't as bad as the other people there, okay? And so, listen, I'm looking at the list I did last night. And a West Virginia bit, by the way. And I was looking at stuff I wrote down that I wanted to talk about. And I have next, talk about post-ironic meme culture. I just love that just sentence of words so well, meshes so well together. Post-ironic meme culture. If you know what post-ironic meme culture is, you first have to know what ironic meme culture is. So at this time of June of 2021, ironic meme culture is the Among Us memes. And if you don't know what Among Us is, it's I don't want to explain it, but that's currently the ironic meme culture. But post-ironic meme culture, for example, I think you could say Vines, or there's this one GIF and it's called Dat Boy, and it's this frog on a unicycle. That's post-ironic meme culture. And I'm thinking Vines are beginning to go kind of into their era of post-ironic meme culture, as the generation that grew up with these Vines kind of moved past it, and we're evolving meme-like in our society, in our culture. So we just find different things funny, and it's probably more advanced. And it can't be a 6-second clip of Bo Burnham saying, what's better than a really good book? Like, we're probably better than that now. Like, that was good back in the day, 7th and 8th grade. Me and my friends, we used to be down to clown with those meme comps. But I guess now it's different, and I think the dumbest stuff is funny. And it's just horrible. It's horrible. Horrible in a good way. Good way. My comedy is just, it's not great anymore. But I don't really think animals are that funny. Listen, I love a good animal. I love a good bear. A bear taking a bath, perfect. Solid. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But Like, if there's, like, a cat running into the window, I'm like, okay, whatever. Go to AFV, nerd. That's my meme experience, personally. But I just don't really find, like, the dogs and cats things funny. They're cute. I love them. I love animals. I love cats. I think cat memes, I think they're probably more funnier than the dog memes, but it's still, like, I need a little bit of nuance, you know? A little bit of something, a little bit of spice. Spice up your memes. And then I also have talk about my thrifting experiences. Kind of boring. I got that shirt that the lady, callback, that the lady complimented at the pizza place. I got the shirt I was wearing from the thrift store for like $1.50. It was great. Talk about my potential art pieces. Oh, I recently did 2 redraws of 2 I'm forgetting the word, I'm blanking, but 2 slides of the late August animatic. I talked about it before, where it's like the song was Line of Sight, right? And I repainted those and I put them on canvas. I think they look really good. I might post them on Twitter, who knows, and because they're okay with redrawing and posting it and stuff, but I just I have to like stage them and stuff. It'll be an experience. And then next I have talk about my experience at helping with the nature summer camp so far. So that's what I'm doing at the nature center. And it's pretty weird being around 5 to 8-year-olds for 8 hours of the day. I did it 3 times a week last week. When originally I was going to be doing it for 5, but I'm like, ma'am, I think I'm just going to take Wednesday and Thursday off. She's like, okay, that's fine. Whatever works for you. I was like, okay, sounds good. And listen, they're so forward. It's so weird. And I'd get home and I'd see my 6-year-old sister, who's the same people's there, and they're like just as annoying. I'd like almost lose it. And it was great. This one kid, he loved Mario Kart. He was like 5, or no, he didn't love Mario Kart. Sorry. He corrected me. I was like, do you like Mario Kart? And he's like, no, I don't. I was like, oh, okay. He likes Super Mario Bros. And I was asking, I'm like, have you played Super Mario Odyssey? Because he was sitting next to me on a bench because he was tired. And he's like, yeah, I love Super Mario Odyssey. You know, Cappy, and he just talked my ear off all about it. And I was like, have you played the original one on the NES? He's like, no, I haven't. It looks cool, though. I was like, yeah, I have it on the NES. It's pretty cool. I've played a lot of Mario in my day. And so we talked about Mario. And then he also asked me, he's like, what other video games do you play? And I was like, oh, I play some Minecraft. I dabble. And he's like, oh, Minecrafter. And I was like, I looked at him, and he's over halfway shorter than me, and I'm like, really, dude? Really? You're really gonna do this to me? It's like this fire kid who doesn't have, like, his teeth. And, I don't know, it was a funny experience. I got made fun of by a kid because I played Minecraft. Interesting. Okay, Super Mario Bros. But throughout the week, he'd always come up to me, like, halfway through the day and be like, I want to go home. And I was like, can't deal with, I don't know. No, I'd say, me too. And he'd be like, what? And I was like, go. Oh, also, this one kid punched another kid. But the kid he punched was older. And he came in and he's like, he punched me. And I go, did it hurt? That's not the right thing to say, apparently. Whenever I tell my mom about it later, she's like, Jonica, you can't say that. So what had happened, this kid had punched him, I don't know, because he wanted to get on this log. And he's like, he punched me. And I'm like, did it hurt? And he goes, no. And I go, then he didn't punch you. Because why would you tell if, like, it didn't hurt? I don't know. I guess it's different when you're 16 and they're 6. I did my hands in a little, city hands. And he goes, but he punched me. I go, no, he didn't. I'm like, it didn't hurt, you know. Well, okay, to be fair, I do see his argument where, yeah, he probably should. But I wouldn't know what to do because I'm like an assistant, right? I'm like a volunteer. I don't know how to solve fights between 6-year-olds. I didn't want to escalate it, make it a bigger deal than it actually was. And so then he went off, and that was the experience. And then, what else? Minecraft. We got the 1.17 Minecraft update. First part of the Caves and Cliffs edition. I think it's really cool. I love this new Minecraft update. I played it some so far. But it doesn't have the caves and the cliffs, which is kind of a bummer. I was looking forward to that, but it's a part 2. So you don't need to let the devs be overwhelmed, right? Because that's why they're releasing it in 2 parts. But the new things they have are cool, where they have the telescope. I love looking through that. It's good on Bedrock. Because, like, on Java, you can just install Optifine or something. And you don't need a telescope. But I like it in Bedrock a lot. And then there's also the lightning rods, where you can make charged creepers if you put them next to it. And I think their main purpose will be used for building. And then they also have the copper, where it oxidizes over time, where it goes from a shiny brown metal to green, like the Statue of Liberty. And I think that's interesting. I don't know how I'm going to build with it yet, but it'll be nice. And then they changed how the ores looked, where they changed how they look. So when I get it, it wouldn't be the ore, the block that you'd have to smelt down. It would be like a chunk, and then you'd smelt it, and then it'd turn into a bar of such metal. And I think that's a good addition, because it can help with people who are colorblind and who couldn't previously tell the difference between the other colors, because all the blocks look the same, just the different colors. So I think this is a good addition. And then, the powdered snow. You can MLG powdered snow bucket, which is funny. It'll look good for Dream's new manhunt videos, or similar like epic trick shots in Minecraft moments. And you collect it you get a cauldron, you leave it out in its snow, and then it'll collect in the cauldron. I love that idea. I think that's just so cool. I love that so much. But it'll be hard to get, you know? And then Minecraft 1.7, what else? Yeah, the telescope. The thing about the telescope, it'll be extremely hard to get, because in order to get there, it needs amethyst crystals. And in order to get the amethyst crystals, you have to have a soft touch pickaxe whenever you find a geode. So that'll make, I think, getting it a lot harder. But I haven't really explored in survival a lot yet. I do a lot of creative, because I play on the Nintendo Switch. I haven't installed on my computer yet, because there might be a telescope in like the little pirate ships that are sunk at the bottom of the sea. I think that would be a fun addition that they could add. Sorry. Yeah, and then my childhood memories with Minecraft. I grew up with Minecraft, bro. I think the first I got Minecraft, I was like 7 or 8 or something. You're a veteran whenever you can remember the Minecraft Redstone update. I'll say that. I remember that update. We had it like long before that. Oh, shoot. What about the nether reactor cores? Where you had the nether reactor cores, and then I forget what you'd add, but you'd add some to it and make like a nether castle, right? And the thing is, whenever they had updated it, they would remove that. And I had this world, and I loved it, and had the nether reactor cores, and I put them in the chest. And I was like, oh, I was so hyped because they removed it, but I still had some of the nether reactor cores in the chest. And I was like, I have the only nether reactor cores in the world. So, this was on like the first edition of the iPad or something. I don't know. Yeah. My mom had her iPad. And I remember that was the most upset I've been over a video game was whenever my brother, he was like, I don't know, he's young. He's like 6 years younger than me or something. I forget what age I was then, but I was a little bit older. And he had deleted all the worlds in there, including the world with the nether reactor core. And because our iPad was slow, and so we'd figure that deleting our worlds would help somehow get our worlds to load faster somehow. I don't think that's it. But I remember I was so upset. And then my other brother was upset too. And I think, yeah, it was bad. We were really sad about that. We felt like we had lost a chunk of history. But now, we get to remember it. We can remember the nether reactor core. Maybe if that hadn't happened, I would have remembered the nether reactor core had occurred. Because that was an old edition of Minecraft. And then I remember the Redstone edition. It first came out, I was like, this looks cool. I said that for like 15 minutes. And then after I was like, okay, I don't really want to learn this. So that's left, I guess. That's pretty much my child experiences with Minecraft. I had these flamboyant worlds I'd play in Pocket Edition, where I made a glass hotel, and I was so proud of it. And good days. I also had this one island where, if you've ever had like your Minecraft phase as a child, you know you had that mod app that you could install to Minecraft PE, and then it'd add mods, right? Like it'd make plates or furniture, or just different things. Like it'd change animals. I had a car mod. Yeah, I modded my Minecraft PE on my phone. Thank you very much. I wasn't a noob. But no, I did a lot of creative stuff. I like creative a lot more than survival. I feel like if I did PC stuff, I feel like I could be good at Minecraft that because I already know the mechanics and stuff, but I've consumed a lot of content. But it's just harder. It's 4 times harder to speedrun on Minecraft Bedrock than it is Java. And it's harder to control on Bedrock because if you've ever like played Cake Wars, or which is like Bed Wars, you'll notice it's really hard to do anything. Like, you don't have speed bridging because you can just jump in front of you, which is, I guess, an added bonus. But it's really hard to do anything. Like, it's hard to move. It's hard to PvP. Like, even on top with the adrenaline and stress having to fight someone, you also have to use these weird foreign mechanics where you're just moving your fingers the entire time because you have to move the bottom left one for like moving, and then a top one for perspective. I don't know, it might be flipped. And then you just have to click all these buttons, and then, yeah. Then you can accidentally click crap up. It's like Bedrock on the computer, I guess you're fine. It's just basically Java, just easy. But yeah, I've never like had the chance to be good at Minecraft PvP, if you'll say that. And then like it's even worse Minecraft PE. And so yeah, pretty much that. And it's getting kind of late. No, I'm just kidding. It's 7:21. But the reason why I had wanted to do this sold podcast episode and actually go through with it is because, I don't know, recently I've been thinking a lot about, I've always wanted to stream. Like stream on twitch.tv or YouTube, which I know is a weird thing to say, but I don't know. I just want to stream. I feel like I could content create, because I've just been talking to myself for these 43 minutes, and I just think it'd be fun. I'd love to make content for people and have them enjoy it, which is kind of what I'm doing now, but also just expanding my horizons from podcasting, which is kind of like the only thing I can do right now, because I told myself I'd only stream it when I was in college or university. And I wasn't in high school. I was in high school because my parents are just a little bit strict about the internet. And like I was like, I could do that in college and university, and then I want to build my own PC and learn computer science and stuff. So I want to build my own PC, and then I can stream, because I don't really want to stream with a laptop with parental controls where I can't even install OBS like alone. I have to get my mom to do it, which I know makes me sound like a baby, but I'm not. Like, I'm really just editing an entire podcast and drawing art for it, producing and uploading it on YouTube. And then also being internet safe. Also, go follow the Twitter, please. I don't try hard on it. I don't know what to say. We only follow NASA and me, my other Twitter, and then one of our fans. But yeah, I want to stream. I'm just gonna say it. I think it'd be cool. I think the only thing that would put in a roadblock would be me being nervous, because I have to deal with the chat. And whenever I watch streams and stuff, I've always closed chat. But I feel like I'd love to have the chance to foster a community and help people with my content, obviously, and just be a source of enjoyment. And then also I'd love to have the chance to be able to game properly on a gaming PC, become an esports fanatic. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I could be a good FPS because my brother tried to teach me how to play Warzone the other day, which is basically like a COD knockoff. And it was funny. Like, I got in, I never played this game before. I'd like heard him playing it, and he's like, "You kind of suck." I was like, "Wow, it's almost like I've never played this game before." So I walked in, boom, 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 and then my brother was also co-oping with me in our team, and he went in, he just like wiped the floor. I got like 40 kills. I got like 10 or 11 or something. But it was like bots, right? It's like the first stage. And it was really funny. And it was actually kind of fun. It's just hard for me to go back and have the motivation to do better and get better whenever it's hard to do the controls, because I'm better with things that are accessible. It's hard for me to keep going with games. Like, I've gotten halfway onto so many games. It's weird. I'm really more of like a more open world person. Like, started Undertale. I'm like over halfway through it. But I just haven't finished it because I can't pass this one bit, and it'll just take a while for me to beat, and it's kind of hard to do with a Nintendo Switch controller, where you have to move the cursor, right? And then, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I'm pretty far in that. My brother's helped me with some of it. I love the game. I love the concepts of games. I love the plots they have in it. So basically, it sounds like I'm just coded to watch people play them, but I want to play them a lot because I want to have my own experience with them. But I think I could be a streamer who just plays like small indie games all the way through. I think that'd be cool. And then I'm there for the good times, bro. Yeah. But yeah, doing streaming stuff requires money that I don't have access to. And also parents that will let their child stream, because I have a friend, I have a couple friends, I could say, acquaintances at least, that they stream, and it's really cool watching them, and it's great. And like, even the person who loaned us our stuff, he streams. And yeah, everybody's super nice, and I'd like to be able to have the chance to do that type of stuff. But I am doing a podcast for now. Ayo. Anyways, that's pretty much why I kind of had the idea to do a solo The Neighbor's Kid podcast episode, because I was trying to see how well I could banter off of myself if I was streaming, and which I know sounds like it's just a test run, but I just want to see if I have the skills just to talk to myself forever, because I came out here. And, oh, by the way, I think the room we're staying is kind of haunted, because this light bulb, I was setting this stuff up, and this light bulb fell out of the light, and it just shattered, and I don't know why it did. The fan was onto it, but it wasn't shaking that much. It just fell. So it's a little bit scary. So I had to clean up some broken glass pre this. But I came out here, and I was tired and hungry, and I had like only drinking this tea. So I was in worst condition, and So, tell me down in the comments if you think I'm entertaining. Haha. Make your mom stream. I love that. Anyways, I'm gonna go work on the art for this episode, and then I'll also drop the links to the stuff I promised earlier in the video, and then edit it and have a little bit of fun. I'll post it on the Twitter, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for coming. New episode probably this week again. So, GLHF, good luck, have fun, and I'll see you next time. Woo!